What's up? CG has finally released two more kits for General Hux, as well as a new Sith Trooper from the new trilogy, Sith Trooper specifically from the Rise of Skywalker movie. And I think the most important thing is to consider what that means for the First Order as a faction as a whole. Actually, let me just stop the audio for a little bit. Back to First Order. So the most interesting thing is that there's currently 8 First Order characters, and as you can see, I don't have them that well geared up. I do wish I can get these 3 to geared 12, but all of them are missing one of those things, and I just can't do it right now. Not with the state the First Order is in currently, and as I'm going to talk about in a little bit, these characters are likely to be replaced, or at least some of them are most likely to be replaced. So let's take a look at the newly released kits first. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just say what they are, like what's the most important part about the skills that they do, and what is it good / bad against. So the basically if it critically hits, Sith Trooper gains crit immunity, which helps against a lot of teams. For instance, First Order Mirror, it's going to be helpful against gas, it's going to be helpful against the Resistance. But it's conditional, and he only gives them to himself, so it's not that amazing, it's just something that happens. For the first special, it's an AoE and does damage for each defeated First Order or Sith ally, which I don't think you're going to use a lot, and you definitely don't hope to use it a lot. It's kind of like the Stormtrooper Zeta. If you're dealing more damage as your team falls apart, but have you already lost the game by that point? So it's a question, and obviously we don't have the multipliers for this unique or any of the abilities, so this is only my speculation. Special 2, I think this one is not working right. Let me just refresh it again to see if they changed anything. Okay. Resurgent, nope, no change. Dispel all debuffs on all First Order and Sith allies. So this is probably right for Sith Trooper. Grant them an advantage for 2 turns, and he's called it to assist. So basically, he dispels all debuffs and assists. But the problem is, you see, he's doing the special right now. Something happens to Hux, or based on Hux leadership, which we'll get to. And First Order Executioner uses his special, and presumably critically hits, and Sith Trooper is called to assist by his unique, which is at the start of battle, Sith Trooper gains advantage. Normal. Extra critical damage with advantage. Alright. And whenever First Order or Sith ally critically hits or stuns an enemy, Sith Trooper called to assist, or apparently no damage. Like, there's no damage reduction here, which is pretty nice, but obviously it's bad against Traya. Whenever Sith Order or First Order ally is defeated, cooldown of his AoE is reset and gains advantage, takes a bonus turn, so obviously fits into Resurgent Power? No, Vengeful Blast. Yeah, so this one, his AoE is reset. The problem is, again, if you lost another member of your team, you're probably not doing well to begin with. So it's kind of like, almost like a nuke-ish kind of team, so definitely not great in Galactic. I always want to say Galactic. In Grand Arena, it's not going to be a good team on offense in Grand Arena. So let's go to the other one. Hux. Commanding shot is fairly normal attack. Gains 25% turn meter. Gains advantage if it's a crit. For his first special, this is a nice image right here. For his skills, his speech in the end of The Force Awakens, gains turn meter, he loses advantage and dispel all buffs from all enemies. So it's a mass dispel, which is nice, can't be evaded, and it's not an attack, so you're not gonna get counter. You're not proccing most of enemies' effects. Call all other first order allies to assist, dealing 25% less damage. So we got another mass assist this time with first order. Cool. So this special again is kind of weird. I think this is obviously the wrong one. Dispel all debuffs on all first order and Sith allies. So this is the exact same as the second special for a Sith Trooper, and it's weird seeing Hux with Sith synergy. So actually, chances are this is the one that's wrong. The first order Sith Trooper one is right, and this one is wrong. Well, don't likely. So I'm just gonna skip this for now. Actually, I'm just gonna refresh again. Any changes? No. Okay. So let's just ignore that for now. I do think it's fair to say there's probably going to be some kind of Sith Trooper assist, because you see here in this GIF, Sith order is called to assist. There's something going on here. Leader, basic attack, first order allies gains more damage, so it's helpful obviously for counters. It's helpful for the mass assist that Hux himself can call. A cooldown of 3, that is actually pretty low. Imagine him with first order officer's second special and reducing cooldown. That would be pretty interesting to see. Anyway, leader, and Hux gains dominance until he's crit, and he also gains it at the start of every turn. Interesting thing is, dominance enemy can't counter attack. First order allies 100% counter chance and critical damage. So if Hux's leader is going to be helpful against CLS, JTR, gas. But I think all in all, this is not as good of a leadership ability as Crew, Kylo Ren Unmasked. Kylo Ren Unmasked just does way too many things. It's too good. But if you I think it's situational. Hux might be better sometimes. But it, again, similar to Sith Trooper, is bad in Grand Arena offense because you have no way of regenerating health and protection. And finally, the unique, it's pretty bland. Oh, actually, no, it's a Zeta. While Hux's advantage, enemies can't gain bonus turn meters, almost like a Malik type. Except it's conditional and it's much powerful because it's all enemies, which is pretty great, and Hux gains advantage for 2 turns. Yeah, that doesn't really matter. But paired with the unique, it's powerful. It means enemies can't gain TM from the get-go, which is nice. And let's just go back and take a look at the first order characters we already have. So obviously Kylo Ren Unmasked is going to be the leader. I think Sith Trooper has a place here. Hux has a place in this team. And I would say first order executioner because he does amazing damage, and especially when you relic him up, he just goes crazy. And for the final slot, it's either officer or stormtrooper. Stormtrooper, well, the traditional wisdom for the first order team is that you want to have 2 tanks. You want Kylo Ren Unmasked because he's not going to tank that well. He's going to be easily taken out because he taunts right from the start. His AI is going to make him taunt immediately. He has some good defensive capability, especially if you relic him up, but probably not enough. So 2 tanks. But on the other hand, Officer also does so many things with his TM, with his more TM, as well as cooldown reduction. So it's either Stormtrooper or Officer, and I guess we just have to experiment and see. That leaves out Kylo Ren, which is, I don't know if that's the right choice or not, but Kylo Ren just gives so much turn meter. 25% turn meter that he can do again and again and again and again. And Stormtrooper also gives turn meter with this ability. It's another 25% turn meter. First order is all about advantage and turn meter, and I don't think Hux or Sith Trooper give enough turn meter to make them really worth it to give up Stormtrooper and Officer. But anyway, that leaves a secondary squad that's barely a squad. That leaves us Phasma Lee, Kylo Ren, First Order TIE Pilot, Special Forces TIE Pilot, and again, either Officer or Stormtrooper. So this one is probably not even going to make the cut for GAC. on offense or defense. You can probably make something out of the dominant first order team, but for the secondary first order team, it's not really worth it. And I have not geared up first order type special forces type pilot. He's just not worth it. I feel like, the stun is nice, the speed up is nice, but there's just not enough synergy with the other first order characters. You want more turn meter, you want more advantage. Granted, special forces does give out advantage, but comparison to what Stormtrooper or Officer can do, it's just not worth it. So all in all, the Phasma lead team is not gonna really work. So you're just like throwing away half of your first order team in the trash. But of course, it depends on how Hux and Sith Trooper are released. And if I have to venture a guess, Sith Trooper will come with a TIE Dagger as a ship, and Hux will come with one of the Resurgence class Star Destroyers as his capital ship, which will make us have one capital ship for the First Order and 5 lesser ships. So TIE Silencer is a great ship. FOTF, First Order TIE Fighter, has always been a great ship. A lot of target lot synergies, does a lot of damage repeatedly. Command Shuttle is nice, but there's just not a lot of ships to synergize with, and also has way too many skills. I'm sure the AI would butcher it if you leave it on defense. And finally, First Order Special Forces TIE Fighter. Say that 10 times in a row. The ship itself is fine, but it doesn't do anything super interesting, I think this one is probably interesting. Does it? No, ability block. It doesn't stun. Ability block and calls an assist. This ship is fine, but nothing interesting. And he also has a very lackluster reinforcement ability. So we can probably get a proper first order fleet with this, but probably not going to be meta. Also, the fleet lacks a tank, so we'll probably have to drag out Hound's Tooth or something like that. So all in all, I'm curious about the state of the First Order team with the introduction of Hux and Sith Trooper, and I have one of my squad mates is a big First Order fan. Let's just go down a little. Snoo. Where is him? Ooh, he hasn't done all of his. Look at that. Relic 7 Double Zeta Kylo Ren unmasked. And First Order, yeah, even he doesn't have a to develop TIE Pilot, Special Forces, or Phasma. But I think he's probably going to get a lot of work out of the new two First Order characters. He'll probably replace Kylo Ren and Stormtrooper, put in Sith Trooper and Hux, so they'll probably make for a terrifying team. Hux can basically use his mass assist every other turn because of First Order officers pinning shot. There's still going to be a good amount of turn meter manipulation, a good amount of turn meter gain, but it's not going to be as much as they did with the original Kylo Ren and First Order Stormtrooper, both on the field. So this is my my mental thought process about the two new First Order characters coming out. Thank you for watching, and we'll see how they get rolled out, how they're farmable, or how much you need to pay for them. So thank you for watching.